Hello guys, this is Subhas. We are going for the NISM series. This is the revision series, and in this video we are discussing the chapter 3rd, mutual funds. The types of the mutual fund schemes, why structured, the open-ended scheme, closed-ended scheme, and interval schemes. So we are discussing one by one. The firstly, open-ended scheme do not have a fixed maturity. Open-ended scheme do not have the fixed maturity. You deal with the mutual fund for your investment and redemptions. The key feature is liquidity. You can conveniently buy or sell your units at NAV, net assets value. Related price, at any point of time, investor can sell their units to the scheme through a repurchase transaction or a repurchase price which is linked to NAV. Closed-ended scheme, they have stipulated maturity period, are called closed-ended scheme. You can invest in scheme at the time of the initial issue, and thereafter you can buy or purchase the units of the scheme on the stock exchange where they are registered. And third one is interval scheme. The combined the feature of the open-ended and closed-ended schemes. The period when an interval schemes become open-ended are called transaction period. The period between close of the transaction period and open of the next transaction period is called interval period. Minimum duration of transaction period is 2 days and minimum duration of interval period is 15 days. No redemption repurchase of unit is allowed except during the specified transaction period, during which the both subscription and redemption may be made to and from the scheme. Scheme should be compulsorily listed in stock exchange during the interval period. SEBI categorization and rationalization of mutual funds schemes. The scheme would be broadly classified in following group as per the SEBI guidelines as equity scheme, DAP scheme, hybrid scheme, solution oriented scheme, other schemes. The equity schemes क्या होती है? SEBI has defined large cap, mid cap and small cap companies as follows. Large cap, first to 100 companies in terms of the full market capitalization. Mid cap, 100 first to 250 the company in terms of full market capitalization. Small cap, 250 first company onwards in terms of the full market capitalization. Also, an equity scheme should invest minimum 65% of its assets in equity and equity related instrument. Multi-cap fund, investing across large cap, mid cap, small cap stocks. The minimum investment in equity and equity related instruments shall be 65% of total assets. Large cap fund, investing in large cap stocks. The minimum investment in equity and equity related instrument of large cap companies shall be 80% of total assets. Mid cap fund, investing in mid cap stocks. The minimum investment in equity and equity related instrument of mid cap companies shall be 65% of total assets. Large and mid cap fund, investing in both large cap and mid cap stocks. Large cap stock minimum 35%, mid cap stocks minimum 35% of total assets. Dividend yield fund, predominantly investing in dividend yielding stocks. Value fund and contra fund. A value fund follows the value investment strategies. Minimum investment in equity and equity related instrument shall be 65% of total assets. Value scheme, invest in undervalue companies. Investment in a value fund yield benefits over longer holding period. The contra fund allows the contrarian investment strategy. Mutual fund will be permitted to offer either value fund or contra fund. Focused fund investing in maximum 30 stocks. The scheme need to mention where it tends to focus, that multi cap, large cap, mid cap, small cap. Sectoral, thematic, investing in specific sector such as the pharma, FMCG is the sectoral fund. The minimum investment in equity and equity related instrument of a particular sector, particular theme shall be 80% of total assets. Sectoral fund schemes are ideal for investors who have decided to invest in particular sector. Thematic fund invest in a line with an investment theme. An investment is more broad based than the sector fund but narrower than the diversified equity fund. Equity linked saving scheme, ELSS, tax saving scheme with the statutory lock-in of 3-year minimum investment in equity and equity related instrument shall be 80% of total assets in accordance with Equity Linked Saving Scheme 2005 notified by the Ministry of Finance. Equity index fund scheme are ideal for investors who are satisfied with the return approximately equal to that of the index. These schemes attempt to replicate the performance of the particular index such as BSE Sensex, NSE 50, Nifty. Invest in index stocks as per the weightage. The fund manager has no role in deciding on investment. These funds are not designed to outperform the index and have low running cost. An index fund with low tracking or error is good fund. Index fund is an example of the passive style of fund management. Debt funds, overnight fund. The investment is in overnight security having maturity of 1 day. Liquid fund. Investment is into debt and money market securities with maturity of up to 91 days only. Ultra short duration fund investing in debt and money market instrument with macular duration between 3 months and 6 months. Low duration fund investing in debt and money market instrument with macular duration between 6 months and 12 months. Money market fund investing in money market instrument having maturity up to 1 year. Short duration fund investing in debt and money market instrument with macular duration between 1 year to 3 years. Medium duration fund investing in debt and money market instrument with macular duration of the portfolio being between 3 years to 4 years. Portfolio macular duration under anticipated adverse situation is 1 year to 4 years. Medium to long duration fund investing in debt and money market instrument with macular duration between 4 years and 7 years. Portfolio macular duration under anticipated adverse situation is 1 year to 7 years. Long duration fund investing in debt and money market instrument with macular duration greater than 7 years. Dynamic bond, an open-ended dynamic debt scheme investing across duration. Corporate bond fund, an open-ended debt scheme predominantly investing in AA plus and above rated corporate bonds. The minimum investment in corporate bond shall be 80% of total assets only in AA plus and above rated corporate bonds. Credit risk fund, investing in below highest rated corporate bonds. The minimum investment in corporate bonds shall be 65% of total assets only in AA and below rated corporate bonds. Excludes AA plus rated corporate bonds. Banking and PSU fund, investing in debt instrument of banks, public sector undertakings, public financial institution and municipal bonds. The minimum investment in such instrument shall be 80% of total assets. Gilt fund, investing in government securities across maturity. The minimum investment in GSECs is defined to be 80% of total assets. Floater fund, an open-ended debt scheme predominantly investing in floating rate instrument. Minimum investment in floating rate instrument shall be 65% of total assets. The fixed maturity plan. Fixed maturity plan are investment scheme floated by mutual funds and are close-ended with the fixed tenure. The maturity period ranging from 1 month to 3 or 5 years. The fixed maturity plan are a kind of debt fund where the investment portfolio is closely aligned to the maturity of a scheme. The objective of such scheme is to generate the steady return over a fixed maturity period and protect the investor against the interest rate fluctuation. Hybrid funds means investing in two or more asset class. The conservative hybrid fund, investing in debt instrument 75% and 90% of total assets, while investment in equity shall be between 25% and 10% of total assets. Valence hybrid fund, investment in equity 40 to 60%, investment in debt 60 to 40%. Arbitraging is not permitted in this scheme. Aggressive hybrid fund, investment in equity 65% to 80% of total assets, while investment in debt instrument shall be between 20 to 35% of total assets. Mutual fund in India are permitted to offer either aggressive hybrid fund or Valence hybrid fund. Dynamic assets allocation or balance advantage. It is an open-ended dynamic assets allocation fund with investment in equity or debt that is managed dynamically. Multi-assets allocation, an open-ended scheme investing in at least 3 assets class with the minimum allocation of at least 10% of each in all three classes. The foreign security are not treated as a separate assets class in this kind of the scheme. Arbitrage fund, investing in arbitrage opportunities. The minimum investment in equity and equity related instruments shall be 65% of total assets. They simultaneously buy and sell securities in different market to take the advantage of the price difference. Return are more in line with the money market return rather than equity market returns. Moderately low risk category. Arbitrage funds are not mean for equity risk exposure, but to lock into a better risk return relationship than liquid fund, and ride on the tax benefit that equity schemes offer. Equity saving, an open-ended scheme investing in equity, arbitrage and debt. Hedging is also allowed. The minimum investment in equity is 65% of total assets, and the minimum investment in debt is 10% of total assets. Minimum hedged and unhedged investment need to be stated in SID. The assets allocation under defensive consideration may also be stated in the offer document. Solution oriented scheme, retirement fund, an open-ended retirement solution oriented scheme having a lock-in of 5 years or till retirement age, whichever is earlier. Children's fund, an open-ended fund for investment for children having a lock-in for at least 5 years or till the child attain the age of majority, whichever is earlier. Other schemes, action traded fund, are also passive. Those portfolio replicates an index or benchmark such as the equity market index or the debt index. The units are issued to the investor in the new fund offer, after which they are available for sale or purchase on stock exchange. Units are credited to the investor's demat account, and transaction post NFO is done through the trading and settlement platforms of the stock exchange. The unit of ETF are traded at real-time price that are linked to a change in the underlying index. Gold exchange traded fund. Gold exchange traded fund offer investor an innovative, cost-efficient and secure way to access the gold market. Gold ETF are intended to offer investors a mean of the participation in gold bullion market by buying and selling unit on stock exchange without taking the physical delivery of gold. The gold ETF invest in 99.99% pure gold. NAV of gold ETF depend on real price of gold bullion. Gold funds invest in gold and gold related securities. Actively managed fund are fund where fund manager has flexibility to choose the investment portfolio within a broad parameter of investment objective of the scheme. The passive fund invest in the basis of the specified index. Those performance it seeks the track. Capital protected schemes are closed-ended schemes which are structured to ensure that the investor get their principal back irrespective of what happens to the market. Real estate fund invest in real estate. Commodity funds invest in assets class like food crops, spices, industrial metals, energy product, or the precious metal as may be permitted by their investment charter. Direct investment in commodity is not allowed in India. Fund of fund. Fund of fund are the scheme that invest in other mutual fund schemes. Minimum investment in the underlying fund 95% of total assets. Fund investing abroad. Offshore schemes. Mutual funds have been permitted to invest in foreign security, American depository receipts, global depository receipts. Such schemes are dedicated fund for investment abroad, while other investment partly in foreign securities and partly in domestic securities. While most such scheme invest in securities across world, there are also schemes such which are country specific in their investment approach. Example, Franklin Asian Equity Fund, HSBC Brazil Fund. Why should you invest in mutual fund? Portfolio diversification. Second one is the professional management. Third one is the diversification of risk. Fourth one, liquidity. Fifth one, convenience and flexibility. And sixth one, low cost and transparency. Seventh one is well regulated. Okay, thank you. This is the finished and video is over. And like it, stay connected, we learner. Okay, thank you.